Ahaya, reveal to me your covenant, so I can learn righteousness and truth. Ahaya, reveal to me your covenant, so I will know what to say and do. Reveal to me your covenant, so I will know how to obey you. Shalom Aleichem. Welcome back to Restoring Yasharal. I'm Shara Yafakakama Yasharal, and this is my husband,
Yadon Aran Yasharal.
In this video, we're going to do a continuation of what Ahaya requires of us. When the people of Yasharal were crossed the Yarden, the Jordan River, before entering the land of Yasharal, they were required to write the second covenant between Ahaya and the nation of Yasharal. This covenant is found in the book of Devarim, which is called Deuteronomy, and we're going to go over that particular chapter and the covenant that Ahaya has made with the people of Yasharal. We were not allowed to enter into the land if we did not accept the benefits and the cursings, or the blessings and the cursings, and the oath of this covenant. This is a very important covenant, and it goes right along with Exodus chapter 20, which are the 10 commandments. These two covenants are the foundational laws for the people of Yasharal to live by. If you broke certain ones of these particular laws, the consequence could be fatal. These are the laws that kept our people in upright behavior and righteous standing before Ahaya, and in a tall way, in a righteous way, that we could prosper and benefit in the land that he gave to us and our forefathers to possess it. This is a very important part of the scriptures. These two covenants are the most important parts to begin learning about what it takes to do what Ahaya requires of us. None of these things are impossible to keep, and none of them are difficult to understand, and they're both relatively brief. So please pay attention, take notes, rewatch the video if necessary. These are things that we should remember as the people of Yasharal are being restored back to our righteous position as a righteous nation and kingdom of people upon the earth, as the leaders of righteousness in the earth, and as the light to the Gentile nations of the earth. It is our duty, our responsibility, and our obligations to perform these commandments that we have agreed to do, and our forefathers and foremothers agreed to do when these covenants were made before Ahaya. The first covenant, which are the 10 commandments, were made in Har Sinai, or Mount Sinai, in Horeb, and the second portion, which we're going to share with you in this particular video, were done in the plains of Moab, as we were crossing Yarden, or Jordan River, to enter into the land. Ahaya gave specific instructions for the people of Yasharal to write these laws plainly and plaster them with plaster on stones. On one mountain, he had a portion of our tribes stand there and recite the benefits. On the other mountain, he had a portion of our tribes stand to recite the curses. And as a nation of people, we repeated the words that were given to us from the Kahanim, the priests of the sons of Lewi, the sons of Aharon, as they were given from Masha, as he received from Ahaya, this second covenant. They gave it to them, they spoke it out loud, and we, the people of Yasharal, were commanded to repeat it and to accept the benefits and the curses as an oath, a covenant between us and our power, Ahaya al-Alahi Yasharal.
Then commanded Masha with the elders of Yasharal, the people, saying, Keep you all the commandments which I command you, Hayom, that you shall set up for yourselves stones, large, and plaster them with plaster. And you shall write on them all the words, the law, this, when you have crossed over, to the end that into you may enter the land which Ahiah your power is giving you, the land flowing with milk and honey, just as promised Ahiah Alahi of your fathers, you. Therefore it shall be, when you have crossed over Hayarden, you shall set up, you, stones, these which I command you, Hayom, on Mount Ibal, and you shall plaster them with plaster. Moreover, you shall build there an altar to Ahiah your power, an altar of stones. Not you shall use on them. With stones whole you shall build, you the altar of Ahiah your power, and offer on it burnt offerings to Ahiah your power. And you shall sacrifice shalom offerings, and you shall eat there and rejoice before Ahiah Alehika. And you shall write on the stones, you, all the words, the law, this, plainly, very. And spoke Masha to Hakahanim, the priest of Lewi, to all Yasharal, saying, Be silent and listen, Yasharal. Hayom, this, you have become the people of a higher power. Therefore you shall obey the voice of a higher power, and observe, you, his commandments, and his statutes, which I command you, Hayom. As commanded Masha, the people that Yom, that saying, These shall stand to benefit you, the people on Mount Gerazim, when you have crossed over Hayarden. Shemayun and Lewi, while Yehuda, while Yasakar, while Yusuf, while Benjamin, and these shall stand to curse on Mount Ayabal. Roban, Gadah, Ashar, Zabulun, Dan, Naphtali, and shall speak Halewim, and say to all the men of Yasharal with a voice loud, Curse the man who makes a carved or molded image, an abomination to Ahiah, the work of the hands of the craftsman, and sets up in secret, and shall answer all the people, and say, Amen.
Amen.
Cursed he who dishonors his Abba or his Amma, and shall say all the people, Amen. Cursed he who moves landmark of his neighbor, and shall say all the people, Amen. Cursed a wanderer who lets a blind man in the road, and shall say all the people, Amen. Cursed he who withholds righteousness from the foreigner and the orphan or the widow, and shall say all the people, Amen. Cursed he who lies with the woman of his Abba, because he has uncovered the bed of his Abba, and shall say all the people, Amen. Curse he who lies with any kind of animal, and shall say all the people, Amen. Cursed he who lies with his sister, the daughter of his Abba, or the daughter of his Amma, and shall say all the people, Amen. Cursed he who lies with his Amma-in-law, and shall say all the people, Amen. Cursed he who strikes down his neighbor in secret, and shall say all the people, Amen. Cursed he who takes a bribe to slay a person, a bloodshed of the innocent, and shall say, all the people.
Amen.
Cursed he who not does confirm the words of law, this by doing, and shall say, all the people.
Amen.
Amen.
Wayatso Masha Wazakwani Yasharal Ath Ha'im La'amor. Shamor Ath Ko Hamatawa Ashar Anaki Matawa Ath Kam Hayom. Wahaya Bayom Ashar Ba'ibaru Ath Hayarden. Al Ha'aratz Ashar Ahaya Alahika Nathan Laka. Wahakwamath Laka Ibanim Gadaluth. Washadathatham Bashid. Wakatabath alihan ath kol dabari hatora hazet. Ba ibarka lamain ashar tabe al haaratz ashar ahaya alahika natanlaka. Aratz zabath kalab wadabash. Ka ashar dabar ahaya alahi abatikalaka. Wahaya ba ibarkam ath hayarden. Thakwimu ath ha'ibanim ha'Allah ashar anaki matzawa ath kam hayom. Bahar aibol. Wa shadath otham bashid. Wa banith sham. Mazabak la ahaya alahika. Mazabak ebanim. Leitanif aliham barzol. Ebanim shalamot tabana ath mazabak ahaya alahika. Wa ha'ilith aliyu. Awlath la'ahaya alahika. Wa zabakath shalomim. Wa akalath sham. Wa shamakath lapani ahaya alahika. Wa katabath al ha'ibanim ath kol hadabari hatora hazid ber hatib. Wa yadabar masha. Wa hakahanim halawim al kol yasharal la'amor. Hasakath wa Shema Yasharal, Hayom Hazaha, Nahiyith, La'aim, La'ahaya Alahika, wa Shemaith, Bakol, Ahaya Alahika, wa Aishith, Ath, Matzotu, wa Ath Kakyu, Ashar Anaki, Matzoka, Hayom, wa Ainu, Halloween, wa Amaru, Al Kol Ha'esh Yasharal, Kol Ram. Erur ha'esh, ashar ya'aisha pasol, wa masaka, tuaibath ahaya, wa ma'aisha yari karash, wa sham basator, wa ainu koha'aim, wa amaru. Amen. Erur makala, abu, wa amu, wa amar koha'aim. Amen. Erur masig, gabol, raihu, wa amar koha'aim. Amen. Erur mashaga, ur badarak wa amar koha'aim. Amen. Erur mata mashafat gar yatum wa almana wa amar koha'aim. Amen. Erur shakab aim ashat abu ki gala kanaf abu wa amar koha'aim. Amen. Erur shakab aim kol bahama wa amar koha'aim. Amen. Erur shakab aim akatu bath abiu o bath amu wa amar koha'aim. Amen. Erur shakab aim katanatu wa amar koha'aim. Amen. Erur maka raihu basator wa amar koha'aim. Amen. Erur lakok shakad le hakut napash dam naki wa amar koha'aim. Amen. Erur ashar le yaquim ath dabari hatora hazet la aishut otam wa amar koha'aim. Amen. Ahaya, reveal to me your covenants, so I can learn righteousness and truth. Ahaya, reveal to me your covenants, so I will know what to say and do. Reveal to me your covenants, so I will know how to obey you.